Yo, what up, what up? Good morning, GMG. Oh, yeah, baby. What? No, it's not Friday. It feels like Friday. Thursday, July 25th, 2020. Oh, look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house. Tyler, all made over and stuff. Look at the hair going. He's going to Nashville to see his president, talking about the Hawk Tour girl. And he's excited now. He's getting all fresh. So he heard the Hawk Tour girl's going to Nashville. He's flying today. Look at him. All freshly shaved, looking all so fresh, so clean. He's got like oils on his face and everything. I bet you smell like eucalyptus out there right now. Tyler, Mando, good morning. I guess. What are you guys doing today?
Great, man. Always good.
Oh my god, I crack myself
up.
The
market is fully nuking. It feels like
it's over
now, right?
It's over, right? I'm being told that the cycle is stopped. Is that what I'm reading online?
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Anson's bearish again.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So we're going so much higher. Tyler, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Ready to go on this plane to Nashville. Yeah, take off in just 2.5 hours or so.
Oh,
I'm excited to see some folks.
How long is Chicago?
I've seen some good reports. No, it's an easy flight. It's like an hour from Chicago.
Oh, easy money. Have you ever
been to a Bitcoin conference, like one of the Bitcoin?
I have.
Or
yeah. So this is my first Bitcoin conference. Excited to see how the crowd is different.
They love Bitcoin. They don't love much else.
I believe that.
You're going to meet a bunch of maxis who are off the grid.
I'm very curious how they feel about runes and ordinals. I feel like that's going to be somewhat of a hot topic.
Hold on. I think we lost the big man. I think he's gone. Unless he's like, I wonder if the audio is coming through as well. Oof. Can they hear us on the show, Sims?
They can't because the broadcaster's out, so it might need Tyler to, for it doesn't come back, we might need Tyler to plug in and unmute.
Yeah,
love it. Love it.
Wonderful technical difficulties for a Thursday.
Yeah, well, Ibiza Wi-Fi. Does Ferg just live in Ibiza? I swear he's been there for a while now, right?
All right. Sim, now is the audio live?
Yeah, we got Just mute for Oak.
I don't know if I
can. From that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'm not a co-host.
Check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, mute up for Oak because Tyler's taking over on his roadcast now.
I completely crashed. Like everything crashed right now.
I can't even kick your old camera from the studio.
Okay. Are we good? Can people hear us?
Yes, everything's good. I think we have a slight echo from maybe Mike's phone. If it's a bit too close, I don't know. There's a slight echo somewhere, but I think we're all right.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's me.
Check. Oh, it's gone. Oh, check.
Right, let's start again. We're good.
We can't hear. Give us a Hawk Tour. Get out of here, MP Boogie. Who do you think you're talking to? Today on the show, today, market report as usual. Crypto's going to zero. Cycle top. Onsem's bearish. KBM's bearish. Everybody's bearish. It's over. Tyler is short Ethereum. We're going to have to talk about that. Then and everybody's hating on the Ethereum Foundation again. So I don't know. Maybe I missed some news. Like, are they selling again? Anyways, let's talk about this because I saw like slander of the Ethereum Foundation all over the timeline. I thought it was hilarious. And then Tyler's top 100. I'm sure he's got a lot to talk about as he heads to Nashville right after the show. And then last but not least, Robit 10K spins, baby. I got some really good selection ready for y'all today. It's Thursday. We have no show tomorrow, so we brought the spins forward. 2 lucky winners who answer questions will be able to come on stage and win, anything from a red guy who, by the way, saw quite a pump, a red guy, all the way to a punk. So you'll have to see. So anyways, without further ado, Mando, we need to know why we're going to zero. See, it rhymed.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land?
Yeah, GM, everyone. So the reason why we are selling off, it's seemingly, well, there's probably multiple reasons. The first one was yesterday was a horrific day in macro. So you had the NASDAQ have its worst day in about 2 years. It was down nearly 4%. And that has kind of gone across all markets. So the NASDAQ is kicking off down again today, nearly 2%. Though it's mainly tech stocks today. It's the small caps are kind of rising. So it's not as horrific as it was yesterday, but tech stocks are getting badly hurt. We're also seeing that, like, you had a sell off across Asia, a bunch of different markets sold off, gold, tanked. So pretty much every single market tanked yesterday, apart from bond yields, where bonds kind of went higher because yields went lower. So bad day for macro, and seemingly we were holding up okay. Actually, that like negative correlation that we've seen recently looked like it was going to be in play, but then you had the second piece of news, which is the ETH ETF actually saw outflows yesterday. Now this is pretty bearish, partly probably a short-term bearish. It's all coming from Grayscale. Grayscale had I think it was like 800 million of outflows yesterday. It was something very, very big. And obviously we're speaking about how they have their fees high and they're transferring it to other ETF providers, but we had a net outflow yesterday, and we've already spoken about the fact that we would also expect to see more inflows than expected because people are coming in to do that delta neutral trade where they buy the ETF and they short futures. So this was particularly bad, and you saw ETH really puke on the back of that. So, and I think it's a precarious, I mean, it is a bit of a precarious position. I did not think that ETH would puke. So I've kind of got this one wrong 100%. Like I thought it was kind of priced in that you know, this was going to happen with Grayscale and we'd see big outflows. I did think the inflows would be stronger than they have been, at least for the first few days, or at least not as negative. Like we're actually at negative ETF flows across Grayscale as well. So that's really taken us a little bit low. I don't think it's anything to like necessarily hugely panic about. The reason why tech stocks sold off was because of two, you know, not as amazing as expected results. You had Tesla, which kind of missed earnings, and then Google's earnings were strong, but maybe not as strong as people thought they were going to be. So tech stocks kind of sold off. But it's not like the world's ending or there's some big geopolitical thing that's happened. It's just kind of like valuations got a little bit much that caused this sell-off. And then in crypto, this feels to me like more of an ETH specific issue. And that was kind of showing up. Obviously, like Bitcoin dominance is up. Sol ETH has moved pretty aggressively over the last week. But this definitely feels like more of an ETH specifics thing. But it's taken down quite a lot of the market with it as kind of that selling looks like it's going to be a short to medium term thing. Like a lot of people will be now looking to get out of this Grayscale fund. And we could see, similar to the Bitcoin ETF, you know, continual outflows out of that fund. So let's see. I think there's a reason why ETH is underperforming. And I think that the main issue why I thought it was precarious is because we've been speaking on this show about the fact that, you know, CT, which is not, you know, reflective of all of crypto, has moved a bit more bullish onto Solana. So you get this like broad dunking on ETH whenever this sort of stuff happens. And they're just, maybe there isn't that marginal buy within the crypto, I don't know, the front line of the crypto community. Whereas when, you know, and this happened with Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETF, there still was, you know, everyone's like, was lining up like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to buy Bitcoin at whatever it hit 39K or something like that after that dip. I don't know if people are sitting there going like, I can't wait to buy ETH at 3K. Like, it doesn't feel like it had that same narrative than what happened to Bitcoin when it happened. So I think that's why it's a little bit more precarious this time. But I don't think it's the whole of crypto. I don't think it's anything to get super worried about. But this does kind of set the stage for maybe more dunking on ETH and maybe outperformance of those majors versus ETH, in my opinion.
We've been in this range on Bitcoin since February of this year. Like, just so people understand, like, that's 63K, Mando. Remember how many times you've mentioned that 63K mark? We have been in there. Like, yeah, we've had a couple, you know, we've hit highs, we've hit lows, We've had multiple times, right? We talked about this a lot this show, and then lows quite a few times. We've been in the same exact range forever. It feels like February 20. Let's see, February 28th. So February, Mars, Avril, Mai, Juin, Juillet. 5 months. So yes, I do my months and my dates in French. I don't know why I can't count nor do months in English. It's so weird, right? No, I actually know them. Don't worry, guys. I can speak English, but I don't know. It's a mental thing. But that's an interesting range we're on. Tyler, you got some explaining to do. I don't mean to call you out here, but you got your fresh cut. You're looking great. You're going to Bitcoin Nashville and you're shorting ETH. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm. I don't go short very often. I'm pretty much just a long trader. I took a sober look at the market yesterday, right after our shows, and stocks were nuking. I saw the huge outflows from Grayscale, and my read was this is just going to play out exactly like the Bitcoin ETFs did. I think it's probably just going to be as simple as that. Like, we're going to see huge outflows from Grayscale for the next 2 weeks, and there's a good chance that ETH pulls back somewhere 10 to 20%. So I went up and I shorted ETH 9x, and I got in luckily over 3,400.
Oh, you're good.
The trade's already at like 75%. So it wasn't like a huge trade. Using Wasabi, so shout out to Wasabi over on Blast, so earning some points. But yeah, so like I've been following Lucas, and like I'm not a huge TA guy. Like I'm on OSF side of like the TA argument, but like I feel like Lucas nails this stuff.
He's good.
A lot of the time.
Good. Yeah.
I follow all his posts, and he's been talking about stocks topping. And like when you're going up in a straight line, it's so hard to think like, okay, how are we going to pull back here? And I don't know. Can anyone even explain why the market nuked so badly yesterday? I mean, Mando gave some explanations, but it doesn't really feel like a few bad earnings. It was enough to move everything as bad as it did. I don't know, but like the reality is, like, it looks right.
My honest opinion, and this may be political or not, is that people are pricing in the fact that Trump might not win.
Yeah,
and this has been a big part. This has been a big part of the trade for a lot of this year, even though people probably haven't predicted it. But like people are predicting that Trump would beat Biden, and now you're starting to see some of these polls come in very, very close. I think the bullish. Well, what we saw basically last time that Trump got elected, like a very, very bullish setup for the stock market, kind of a low tax, low regulation style world, maybe even lower capital gains tax, all these sort of things he was talking about doing, probably also more pro crypto. You know, that starts to get priced less in. You could, I don't think people are probably connecting the dots just yet, but I do think that will, if we continue to sell off, people will say, because that's probably what it was. Because there's nothing really, like, you actually look through the results. Google's earnings were okay. Tesla's earnings were not good, but it was for their car division. It's like Tesla's, you know, if you think Tesla's a car company, it's worth more than all the other car companies combined. Like, it's not a car company. So I think it's more general sentiment about. This is also in a world where, you know, like, we're expecting rate cuts. Everything's been set up from a macro perspective. I think that's partly it.
I think that's spot on. Yeah, I think that I don't know if this is like the honeymoon phase. I think that's what the Riot is kind of teeing this up as, or if it's something bigger than this. But
I mean, it's also like the same argument as we've been making, us three of us, like all summer. It's also summer. Like, you know, it's also summer volume. Like, this ETF launched in the middle of the summer in a market that's not that good, like choppy-ish, right? With low volume, and still managed to get $1 billion of trading volume on day one. Like, I don't know. Like, and of course, like, we have Grayscale dumping $800 million. Like, how much more do I have to, like, I tweeted about this last night, but like, I like that Grayscale is just like turbo dumping all at once. Like, strip it off, rip the bed enough so we can start fresh, like, come summer end, you know? How much do we know how much more Ethereum Grayscale has to sell here?
They have about 10 billion. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So not a couple more liquidations. Like, we're talking like
100
more liquidations and up only.
I'm keeping the short open.
You're keeping a sword open. Be careful with those traps and those bounces, Tyler. You know, I don't want to pray for my co-host downfall. I like you a lot. Okay.
I won't be sad if we get liquidated, but to close up my thought, like I will flip it back long, I think, within like a week or two. So like this is a very short term.
What's your target? Like 28, 29?
Yeah, 28, 29. And if things change, then I'll and whatnot. And I still stand by like original thesis. I do think there's a good chance we rally 75 to 100% off the bottom. And I think there's a good chance that BlackRock and folks are there waiting. It's like they very well may have the same thesis that it's going to dip on the outflows and then they're going to load up. We saw them, the Bitcoin inflows had stopped, right? And then Bitcoin nuked, and then like they soared, right? It's like they liked the entry. At least that was my read on it. So I think there's a chance it plays out.
Don't worry, guys. I am sending reinforcements. I have called my people. I'm sending Loxley tomorrow to the NYSE. He's ringing the bell with Bitwise. Thanks to the CEO there for inviting us over. Bitwise been putting in the work on the Ethereum ETF, by the way. Shout out to them. We should get Hunter Horsley on the show. But you know, Lox is gonna be there in Recon. He's gonna be on the fucking floor, and he's gonna be telling everybody to bid Ethereum. So I got y'all. Rug Radio's got you. Duston's got you. We're sending our CEO and Recon. In other news on the market side, I must say I'm impressed by the memes. Usually memes sell off 30. I'm surprised Pepe on this sell-off of Ethereum. You'd expect Pepe to be down like 20%. You know, Mog got hit pretty hard on that front, but it's also a very volatile token. But even there, like Mog is not down as bad. But Pepe's like, can we talk about the fact that the memes are not selling off as hard? Like even Whiff this time around. By the way, Solana barely sold off, but still from 181.2 to like 168. And Whiff is just back down to the 250 band. That's a pretty impressive strength on the meme coins, no?
Yeah, I think so. I think people. The good thing about memes is that I mean, Doge is actually a chain. You know, like people forget about that. Like they're kind of chain agnostic. They don't really like they can survive whatever happens off, even on like a chain that's not really doing so well. Like I do think people maybe buy Mog and Pepe for ETH exposure, but I also think not as much as people buy like Sol memes for Sol exposure. I think they exist. I imagine Mog and Pepe would exist even if ETH went down a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's an ETH beta play. I think it's just like one of the OG memes at this stage, in my opinion. Whereas I feel like with Solana, you kind of are playing them more for Solana beta. I don't know. I think that maybe because they're older, they've got a bit more of a community aspect to them. That it's not just like, right, we're just gambling on Solana going up.
I mean, they launched when ETH was like, we're like 1,200, right? Like ETH was like in the gutter when Pepe had to run to billion, right?
Yeah. Like I think Pepe could be on any chain and still probably be, you know, it would still have a similar dynamic. In fact, it's done very, very well this cycle, even with ETH kind
even
of not
Cardano
that well. Well, maybe not Cardano, but that's what I kind of mean. Doge is a chain, right? Like you don't like, oh my god, I'm so annoyed that it's on Doge chain. Like,
yeah,
but no one really cares. They buy Doge, and it's the same with SHIB, right? SHIB's its own chain as well. Like people buy these things because they're so OG that they're like irrespective of that stuff. And I think, at least for Pepe, it's kind of gotten to that stage. And Mog, I think, has a very strong community, so it's less so. But you know, if this move happened, for example, if this move had happened on Solana, I think a lot of coins would. I mean, would be like over, right? Like never coming back. And I think that's probably where we're at with those two. But so I think memes are doing okay. I think if you're a Solana bull, you're gloating at the moment. And I guess I've been pretty vocal myself that I think it's got the best upside to it. I don't think it's a consensus trade still. Like if this thing was sitting at 50% or 70% of ETH, I'd be sitting there going like, you know, this is maybe a bit crowded, but it's still such a low percentage that it's kind of a bit crazy. What I do think about crypto in general, having now been in it for a little bit longer, is it's difficult to pick up long-term value trades. Like ETH does a lot of what Solana does, but yet it's kind of been, you know, the criticisms around it is this kind of feels a bit old, slow, expensive, And I could very much say that in like 10 years or 5 years, we could say the same thing about Solana, right? Like, oh, we found a different way to do this. So something that I do feel about L1s is that the way that ETH is being treated this cycle makes me think that you just can't marry your bags. You can't marry your bags in L1s because there's always going to be a faster, cheaper, better chain. There are some network externalities of like building a bigger network, like Metcalfe's law, but that hasn't really protected ETH as much this cycle, right? And I think there's something to be said about that next cycle. I don't know if I'm not like a Solana maxi. Let's put it that way. All this has told me is that you need to be cognizant that L1s aren't like Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin has kind of got this narrative that is multi-cycle. Yeah, but I do think that L1s, no matter how bullish you are on them, there's always going to be something. So that's something I would say for a second. That's something I would say for someone who's owning ETH. It's not like, as a person who likes Solana more, it's not that I think Solana is going to be the best chain forever. All this tells me is that L1s actually, you know, they might not be like super long-term investments. And should they really be? That's also another thing. Like, do you really want to have the same payments architecture in like 50 years? Or do you think we should have a better one? And I think that's something you have to kind of appreciate around L1s and smart contracts and all this sort of stuff. We're probably always going to have a new, better one. And that's just the way that tech is. Whereas Bitcoin has this digital gold narrative, which you don't really need a new version of that.
Yeah. No, that's it. I agree with you. One more interesting thing to note before I go to Tyler's top 100s here is just some perspective for people. Yesterday, with the stock market dump was half of the total market cap of crypto. I want to spin this off in the positive narrative that we're so early. The little dump that was like the biggest dump in 3 years on the Nasdaq, right? On the market was 2%. I mean, it was 2%. It was the biggest dump in 3. Look at these balloons. Ooh, balloons. 2 years. 2% was half of Bitcoin, the total market cap of crypto wiped on the stock exchange. Just 2%. So I don't know. Like, to me, I see this and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we're so early. I don't know. This is how I see it. Like $1.1 trillion. That was a dip. Anyways,
gold is 16 trillion. I was looking that up. I didn't realize how high it had gotten.
God.
Yeah.
What's silver?
16.
What's the market cap of silver?
Everything had hit all-time highs. This is the other thing. Every single market currently had hit all-time highs. Gold hit all-time high last week. Stocks had all hit all-time highs in pretty much every single country around the whole world. So having a pullback like this, it also makes it look a bit more precarious, right? Where it's not like, oh my God, you have to be a buyer down 4%. Like, we're down 4% out of like multi-decade highs in many of these markets. It's fine for it to have a pullback.
What's the market cap of Ethereum? It's 377. Did you know that the market cap of Saffron is twice the market cap of Ethereum? Interesting.
People use Saffron.
Fun Persian fact. You know, I know. I was talking to Danny about saffron being the most expensive commodity the other day, and I was like, I just checked. It's like 600 million. No, surely not. Anyways, that's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting interested in the saffron trade. You know, I feel like I'm gonna start trading saffron.
Your Persian roots coming out, right? Everyone. My wife is Iraqi, so like, yeah, saffron is in literally every single thing that she cooks.
It's actually positive. It's an antidepressant. If you put a tiny bit of saffron in your tea, it's good for you. And then in the future, it also avoids Alzheimer's and stuff like that. This is non-medical advice. Anyways, it's just like grandmother recipes type of shit. Anyways, Tyler, what do you got for us today?
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on Fomo hour cause the kid can't miss.
Great to patch some barriers. Have another laundry list today. So for starters, crypto majors down 4 to 8% after stocks had their worst day in years. $250 million in liquidations. The meme leaders are down in line with the majors. ETH notably down 8% after $133 million in outflows on day 2. Grayscale now up to $811 million in net outflows from themselves. So they're driving it. In other news, Senator Lummis does plan a Bitcoin strategic reserve policy, and it may debut this Saturday. at Bitcoin Nashville. So we will see if that pans out. In other Bitcoin Nashville news, Kamala Harris will not speak. That was confirmed yesterday morning after rumors that she was considering it. So we will not see Kamala. Trump still on deck for Saturday as well. Coinbase Asset Management is creating a tokenized money market fund following BlackRock's U.S. Treasuries Fund, which has already accumulated $500 million in assets. So big news out of Coinbase. Proton, folks may know them from email. They've released a self-custodial Bitcoin wallet that makes sending Bitcoin as easy as sending email. Privy is added support for Solana. So they're moving over to Solana, allowing devs to now unlock that feature over on Solana for apps and for users on mobile and desktop. In NFT news, Azuki, they created a new fully autonomous AI chatbot named Bobu to interact with the community and audience members in partnership with Join Hallway. In meme news, we saw Mumu. Farouk, you were just talking about Mumu a couple of days ago. It ran to 170 million after a whiff whale. For some reason, converted $2.5 million a whiff to $1 million of Mumu. They lost $1.5 million in the trade.
God damn it, Ovi.
It did pump the price. In prediction markets, there was a strange better yesterday. This Polymarket better lost $600,000 betting on Biden to resign and come president by Friday. So it looks like that will not likely take place. And he certainly did not resign last night. So that was a beat. And then we got some news. GDP did come in hot. So odds of rate cuts in July had about doubled from like 8 to 14%. And now they're back after the GDP numbers. So it looks like probably no rate cuts.
Wait, no rate cuts?
In July.
I was
Sorry.
rate cuts.
In July. I think that they're still very strongly favored for September.
So let's see. What's the market saying? What are the markets saying here? 7% now for July. Holy shit.
I took a flyer on that. So I actually did make that bet yesterday when stocks nuked. It was like I think it was like 6%. Like I could take 15 to 1, 16 to 1.
Come on, J Powell. What's Pelosi doing right now? She long, she's short. What's Nancy doing?
She's always long. She's always long.
I like her. She's a turbo bull.
She had made some interesting trade a few days ago. I forget. Was it related to NVIDIA? I forget which one it was. Like a chip stock.
It was in the video. It was this other company, and then there was news that came out like 3 days after. She's a great trader.
You don't want to stay there.
She's a great trader. Let's talk about Cynthia Lummis, because yesterday on the show I mentioned like that's one people that I actually would be curious to go listen to at BTC Nashville, because she's kind of been leading on that front with like FIB 21 and everything. So the Bitcoin strategy policy that could be debuting or being announced at Bitcoin Nashville. So what's this all about?
Yeah, apparently, so Fox News got this scoop that apparently Senator Cynthia Lummis has seriously been crafting a policy to make Bitcoin a U.S. strategic reserve asset. They went on to say it's possible she breaks the news this weekend at Bitcoin Nashville, but the plans to go public are in flux. That is a direct quote, and could be delayed. So even if it's not debuted this weekend, it seems very much it is on the table. The idea that the bull case here is that she debuts it on Saturday at the conference herself, and then Trump endorses it in his closing speech. So I think that's what you're rooting for if you really want this to go through. She did tee this up on her Twitter. So I went back on July 22nd. She tweeted out, "Big things are in store this week. Stay tuned," with the Bitcoin B as the highlight.
As the big thing to be. Yeah, I saw that.
So I think just the pure big things are coming. Like you can't read as much into it, but I mean, she uses the Bitcoin B. She's been like, famously, I think the most like crypto focused senator that we've seen, and she's been on deck to speak. So I think she's going to be a must see if you're around. I think she's speaking Saturday. Yeah. Maynard and I were chatting before the show. I think like there is a little bit of a reality check on this. Like we just the chance of this is huge, right? But policy can take some time to be enacted. Yeah. So just because she writes up a bill doesn't mean that this is buying Bitcoin next month. Or
absolutely.
Yeah, I would say that what this originally was is that Trump might be pro this, and now it's like Senator Lummis might do it. There's quite a big difference. I don't know how, like she's kind of a bit of a fringe Bitcoiner. She's had obviously the stablecoin regulation for years trying to push through, and you've had a few different people push for crypto style legislation both in the House and in the Senate. It's quite a big step down if she was to be like, hey, I'm going to introduce this. You need that Trump endorsement for it to be a big thing. If it's not, then I think it kind of peters out slightly. Like, she's been trying to push a bunch of different crypto stuff, and so some other House representatives.
Yeah, she's been pushing hard. By the way, look at those green candles across the board on the hourlies. Bitcoin just jumped like $1,500. One candle.
I was saying this to Parker too.
Look at that.
Sorry, to
look at that.
To Tyler too.
Went from 63.4 to 64.5. Just one candle. ETH went down, so don't worry, Tyler. ETH is this is your ETH. You're fine. And Solana's, dude. Look at that. I'd love to see that. So I don't know, Tyler. I didn't want to jinx you, but be careful.
Yeah, I might have to bring my ledger with me.
You're
That's
trading.
what I was saying. Like, the open interest is very high at the moment. It's the highest ever on CME for ETH, which says that a lot of people saw these figures and shorted just like Tyler. So I don't think it's one of those ones where you can just set it and relax. I do think people.
You should probably TP or like take some before you travel Nashville to enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, I'll think about that. The core thesis still hasn't changed, I guess, but I don't know. On the Lummis thing, so I just sent you the Polymarket bet. Will Trump announce strategic Bitcoin reserve? I guess this is like maybe muddied a little bit. I guess if Lummis, so I'm reading the fine print right now. Market will resolve the yes if Donald Trump announces that he will create a U.S. strategic reserve of Bitcoin. That's by July 28th, so he has to say it by this weekend. I would think that if Lummis introduces it and he confirms it, I think that would still count as yes.
That would still count, I reckon.
Right? I mean, it'll tell you here, right? Yeah, it's all this stuff. He
doesn't need to do this. This is the thing. Like, he doesn't need to. RFK came out and said that he wanted to do this today, but I don't think Trump necessarily needs to go here. He's already like very pro crypto, like the most pro crypto possible. I feel as though he might as well just keep it in his back pocket. He doesn't need to push that, in my opinion. I don't know.
Trump and RFK should have teamed up for this elections. He should have picked RFK.
You think?
Yeah, I genuinely think that. He would have taken, first of all, it's the biggest independent candidate ever, or in forever, the next 10 points. And he's like the OG pro crypto candidate was RFK. Let's not forget, like, he was the one really pushing crypto like crazy in Denver and stuff like that. So, and
this JD Vance guy, I mean, his social policies are a little bit more mixed, but like, he's very pro crypto.
I know, but I was talking about this with Tyler before the show offline, and I was like, the more I see videos of this guy speak, the more I'm bearish on the guy. Like, he's very, like, he's very well spoken on cryptocurrencies, blockchain tech, but it's starting to look a little weak, man, on the rest. Like, it's just an outsider commenting on this. Don't comment the guy. I'm not.
What do you mean, though, specifically?
I don't know. Maybe I'm telling you, I'm being served since I'm in Europe. I'm being served pro-democratic For You page. I'm not kidding. I'm seeing all the anti-Trump, anti-stuff memes here. In Montreal, I get served like pro-Republican, like super right-wing conservative shit. And here I'm being served the other way. So maybe it's getting in my head. I don't know. But JD, he doesn't instill confidence in his speech. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm really trying to stay middle of the road and objective. I do think Vance was the worst choice for Trump to get the woman vote in the United States. And like, he's been famously anti-abortion. And I think women are really latching on to that now. Yeah. And it's just the female vote that's shifted. Yeah. And they probably weren't coming out for Biden, but now they're coming out for Kamala and Brett Summer. I mean, Jennifer Aniston speaking out now. His single woman with cat lady, like the single woman with cat, like not having like the I'm forgetting exactly what he said, but that comment is really pissed off.
That was a bad comment. He's kind of fucking it up right now. All right? He's got to get his shit together.
Who's a single woman with cat or an unmarried woman with cats is Taylor Swift. And what they do not want is that Taylor Swift vote.
Oh man, you don't want to get the Swifties against you because they can meme too. They got the TikTok on lock, baby. Don't fuck with the Swifties. Don't fuck with the Swifties. Don't fuck with the Swifties. Anyways, let's not get too political, but I just thought that was funny to mention on that. Anyways, Tyler. Yeah, the Kamala not speaking thing. I mean, that happened during the show yesterday. We even said it. Like, it was never confirmed. I don't know if Fox ran with the news. That's so embarrassing on that front. But anyway, so that's that was never really confirmed. And that good thing. You know what? If I'm interested, tell us a bit more about this Proton news. This is really interesting because a lot of people in crypto use Proton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else on this one. Let's see if we can pull it up live.
How many users do we have?
Launching the Proton wallet.
You know the Proton Mail, like the email service that's super private, like the signal for emails.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Proton Mail is into crypto.
Open source.
How many users? How many users does Proton Mail have? I'm curious about. They got 100 million users as of April 2023.
Wow,
dude, that's not small to be able to. If that's the case that they can offer self custody on Bitcoin for all 100 million users, wow, that was a year ago. They had 100 million users. That's
it does feel like the scammer's email of choice, though. Doesn't it? Every time I see a Proton email, I'm like, yeah, this is a fresh burner for sure. There's no fucking question. I'm clicking that. Any link comes from Proton, I ain't clicking it. No chance.
It's true, bro. If it comes from Proton Mail, bro, they're either super anonymous OG crypto or they're scammers. This is true, bro. This is true. There was also some big news yesterday from Solend. Did you guys see that? I think you mentioned it, Tyler, yesterday, no? That became safe.
Yeah, that they rebranded and they're launching a few different products, including Dumpy.fun, which is going to allow you to short.
What do we think about that? What do you think about Save? We didn't talk about it yesterday. We didn't have time.
I mean, it's peer-to-peer, I think. So you're only going to be able to do it if folks who are long are depositing to get the rates for doing that. So it's totally dependent, on that side of the market. I feel like there's going to be a lot of demand to short a lot of meme coins. We're seeing it, these Solana coins, these new ones, their shelf lives feel so short.
Yeah,
they run and then they just go to zero so fast.
If everybody's shorting,
hear about the
go ahead.
There was a report on celebrity meme coins. Did you see this? That came out. It says the average celebrity meme coin is now down 94%.
Yeah, of course.
Checks out.
What's Mother at now? Because that's the one that's still. I see it on my timeline a lot. Kudos to them, but that's the one that I still see.
60 million. It's alive.
That's pretty. That's impressive.
I mean, it's down 66% from peak, but still up.
I mean, 60 million market cap. Not that bad. I think it's because it's still on some top picks, right?
And Daddy's still higher than it actually.
Really?
It's at 66.
The thread guy save it.
The third guy pump is held on. I can't believe this Mumu thing. This Mumu one is wild. I can't believe that you mentioned it. And I mean, it is one of the best trades.
70%. And we talked about it. It's almost like if I copy traded our own show, I could actually make money in this fucking market. Jesus Christ. What is it at? 100 they got a hell of a wick to fill, dude. Oh my god. Am I seeing this right? Hold on. Is this it?
That's the wick.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what happened with Whiff when that happened?
You know where it's also actively happening? Giga's filling the wick.
Oh.
Yeah, pull up the Giga chart.
Hey, I'm pulling it up.
And we talked about that too. I didn't buy it. It had a nasty wick. What's filled?
It's filled.
They filled it in 3 weeks.
Okay. I'm committing. I'm gonna buy a little Mumu after this.
What's the Mumu wick? Can you go back to it? What is the number?
Let's see the fucking Mumu wick. You know what? They listen to the show every fucking day. Every day, these people listen to the show.
Oh my god.
Okay. What the fuck? So it's the wick is how much higher? You got to drop a 0 and go to 3.
It'd be about 1 billion, or just shy, 800 million, something like that.
You know what? I don't have any Mumu yet, but send Mumu to 1 billion.
Why not?
Let's fucking go.
I saw someone tweeting saying that it's the mascot of the ballroom, which in theory, I suppose it is, right?
It kind of is because it's a
Mumu the
bull.
bull.
It
never
kind of
knew
makes
that
sense
was
why
the
it would do
tagline.
well.
I
Yeah,
am
Mumu the bull.
I am getting bulled up right now. I don't even follow the account. You know what? I will follow the account right now as well. Look at that.
3,000 followers. Wow.
They're all over. It started off as I had Mumu originally because we all did, by the way. If you held whiff, you had Mumu because it was like one of those where they airdropped everybody that was a whiff holder and stuff like that. And it was like $2,000 airdrop. Like it wasn't cheap. So I was like, oh, it's $2,000. Let me sell it. Fuck, how much is that? Can someone who's in Mumu right now in the comments tell me how much that original Mumu we got airdrop is worth? I'm really curious. What did I fumble here, lads? what did I fumble here?
I know I
Holy
keep
shit.
jumping on, but you know what else did that? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mew did that as well. And look what Mew's at. It was either with the Solana phones or something, but I remember having a bag of Mew a long time ago for nothing. I think it's because I pre-ordered the Solana phone.
Yeah, Mew was the original. They did that after Bonk. They did for the second order. Yeah. Damn.
And it's so obvious in hindsight when you look at it with it being a ball and like the mascot and everything else. Like it just.
We're gonna have to wait a little bit though, yeah, right? Like, surely where are we buying? Where are we buying, boys? Were we waiting to get the back at 100 or what? Like, where are we buying this? Holy shit!
I'm gonna see if I might have to buy the dip on this thing.
I mean, it's dipping.
$1 upside.
It's this is either gonna be the final dip, or we're filling this wick. But I just freaking love this. Oh my god, are they listening? They listen every morning. I see this MF and bull in this fucking comment section of our show. Well, let's see if Mumu the bull wins the robot spins today because we're about to get there. Well, actually, speaking of this, we could go there now. But is there anything we didn't touch on as this is our last show of the week? I don't really think so, right?
Yeah, I think we went around the horn.
I think we went around the horn. See the horn. What the fuck is the horn, dude?
Do you not remember Mumu from Mumu was created at the same time as Pepe, but it was on ETH.
No, that's Bobo.
And they created Mumu too.
No, did they?
They are. Bobo, Mumu, and Pepe are all.
I don't
OG
remember
folks.
Mumu on ETH. I don't even see it on Deck Screener. I don't think Mumu was on ETH.
There was a Mumu on ETH. I remember.
How do
I remember? I think it was created by this. It was created by the same guys who made Bobo.
It's at 4 million.
They had a Mumu on ETH, which was the OG one, as far as I'm concerned. Or I don't know if they obviously who knows what the fuck the OG.
Yeah, but they don't even have 1,000 followers, bro. They haven't tweeted since June. Oh no, 2 hours. I take it back. Don't come. Okay, I'm about to get so much slack for saying this. I come in peace.
Mumu was created by the Pepe OGs. If you actually know, the people who created Bobo and Pepe were involved in the creation of Mumu.
But on ETH,
they're all on ETH. So,
but nobody's buying ETH. ETH is going to zero.
Mumu on ETH might be the Mumu on Sol Beta. It's at 4 million.
We're about to get in trouble, boys. I am not getting in trouble this cycle. Very good. Don't fucking put me in there, Mando.
I'm just saying I remember it because I remember getting some a year and a half ago, right? Of Mumu. I had some Bobo, I had some Mumu, I had some Pepe. Because they're the OG 4chan memes. But then Bobo and Pepe survived, but that Mumu never really survived. So I didn't really know what happened. So then, and now a Mumu on Sol has gone to 150.
Well, it's going to $1 billion. It's going to feel
maybe that is the alpha play. You know,
I honestly feel like becoming a community member of this coin now. I love the wick. Look, we literally joked about it on the show when Giga had the fucking pump the wick. We were like, oh, it's going to fill the wick. Tyler just brought it up. It filled the wick 4 days ago. Damn.
Wicks get filled.
Listen, I'm gonna call my quants.
Need one of those for Epic, man. Somebody's got to go in there and full stack a $2.5 million fucking whiff bag into Epic.
Hey, Mando, be the wick you want to see in the world, or maybe Danny. Danny, do you want to put a $2.5 million wick on Epic? You're so down for it. Is there a treasure here? QM. He says. Daddy says QM. Seed phrase says QM. You want to come do the robot spins? They're 2 minutes. No, you're going. He said QM though. He said QM. Let's see where you're at here. You're still within the lines.
I know.
You're still in the bullish pennant. That's what they call it, the bullish pennant.
We got listed. Mexi has listed us today.
Congratulations! I saw that. Congratulations! Yeah. You're still cooking. You're still cooking. Look at that. Look, you're still within the lines. Look, as long as Bernie is in this, I believe. As long as Booney.
I mean,
Booney,
look at that. Look at that consolidation. That's just that
hold on, let me bring it back up for you. Let's. So how's it been actually? We're like day what? Like week what? How many months ago did you launch this?
Nearly 4 months now.
So how's it going now? Is it mostly like autopilot, like you can chill finally and sleep? Because the first month you did not sleep for shit.
No, it's fucking busy, man. I'm busy all the time. Like all the time. I don't know. It's good. We breached. Bring it up on holder scam. Right? We breached 12K holders today.
Congrats.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're gonna launch a face filter, like an Instagram face filter. Like
no way.
Face filters. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, a couple more things. Like we're thinking about like a Chrome extension. That's
for what?
One of the things we were gonna for the duck. For like an overlay of Twitter, but you could maybe change images or yeah, you'll see. A few different fun things, but yeah.
Like
generally it's just posting.
I'm a big fan of Chrome extensions that inject HTML. Anyways, you have a lot of fans here. There you go. Epic chart. There you go. Everyone's saying gem. Anyways, all right, let's get big and sims. Do we have the questions for today? Oh, you do already. All right, there you go. So I have the questions. All right, get ready, ladies and gents. My favorite time of the day. Oh wow, you have so many right now. Look at that. Look at all the questions. Look at that. Comments right now. People are going crazy over the duck. Look at that. Look.
How can you fade this? Like we fucking traded 14 million or whatever the hell it is, 14.2.
The craziest thing was day one when you launched it, the $45 million in volume in the first day. That was insane.
Dude, it's fucking insane.
Oh my God, Mando showed up on the show and he was like white. The guy hadn't slept 1 second. It was hilarious. All right, let's do this. So the question number one, and it's on X. So you have to go to the broadcast. We all posted the broadcast on all our X accounts. It's on the Fomo Hour account. Get ready, ladies and gents. The two lucky winners, that lucky winner number 1 and 2, you know how it is, okay? So question number 1. What crypto event is Tyler leaving for today?
Oh, someone was quick.
Whoa.
Do we go Nashville or Bitcoin Nashville though? That's the question.
Nah, Nashville fine.
Nashville fine. Are we allowing that?
Yeah.
Tyler, you're the one going.
The question was what event, not what city, right?
Well, then it's empty.
Then it would be Hempstead, yeah.
I mean, you did say in my DMs, Sams, you said the answer that we agreed to is Bitcoin Nashville or the Bitcoin conference. Not
yeah,
Nashville.
we did have down 2 words.
Is he going to? I said what crypto event is he going to? So that was the rule.
Bitcoin Nashville does match one of the 2 answers we had written down.
Yeah, so that's what I had written down. So Hempstead, you win. Hey, see, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to you win 1 second, you find out you don't win. So that's what it is. Bitcoin Nashville. Hempstead, please come on. I mean, he's already requested. Fucker was ready, bro. this MFer. These Robit people are really quick with their shit, aren't they?
Yeah. Because the original guy that posted Nashville's also is that a robot?
You guys are like, you guys are crazy. All right, are y'all ready? You gotta comment on X. You know what? And we'll play differently. We're learning. We get it. We're learning. Some of you like this. Some of you don't. Maybe we do Twitter breaker on Tuesday. Don't worry about it. We'll keep fucking around and finding out. All right, second question.
Hang on. Let me just remove the current comment. Let me save that 1 second.
We'll send the other guy consolation prices. We'll send him $100. We always do that.
Okay, let me get that name really quickly then. Hold on.
We always do that. We always send and we know you meant Bitcoin Nashville, but they didn't write that. So if we were in a game show, it would be
We'll send you $100, Dylan.
We'll send you $100. All right. You can go on Robo and like
Stop spamming answers.
Stop spamming answers, you fuckers. Oh my God. We're gonna ban y'all. We're gonna ban you fuckers.
I do have a ban button on X.
We have a ban button, motherfuckers. No, the answer's not Mumu for the next one. You know what? All right, fuck it. Let's let it rip. What is the name / ticker of Iggy Azalea's token?
Oh,
I got it.
Dylan.
Oh no, he's not first. Oh,
hang on. Hold on.
Fuck. Mize.
That was quick. I see Mize here, 459. No, I have one before him.
I have Adra.
Yeah, I have Adrian as well.
I have Adrian as well. Adrian above you as well.
Yeah. I have him above. The typos.
Okay. Yep, fine.
You can tell this typo. He types so quick.
I'm the quickest one.
Mother, Adrian 1238, you win. The answer was mother. I'm liking what we're doing here. I know some people get frustrated, but it's a game. It's supposed to frustrate you, you know? Oh my God, I love that. I love how all the comments are like, moo.
I love it.
Yo, Mumu the Bull, they even sponsor, I think, Michaela for a second. Yo, hit us up, man. You want to... Oh my God. All right, look at it. So today on the show, I got 4 punks, 2 pudgies, 5 miladies. I doubled the odds of winning a pudgies to 2%. We got Doodles, Mutant Apes. I picked some fire red guys, and that's about it. The red guys are up 0.1 ETH overnight, which is Ferrari let us down. I know. All right, well, they're both on stage. Hamsty, Adrian, what's up, y'all?
I'm ready. What's up?
All right, Hamsty, are you ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's let it rip. Come on. Oh, well, you win a red guy. We didn't get to hear the spin or anything. Well, you win a red guy. Congratulations. We're $1,100. Congratulations. Red guy went up overnight. So congratulations, MC. You win a red guy. I didn't spin. Let me refresh the screen. Let's see. Why is it doing this again, guys? It's good. You still won a red guy. Adrian, what's up? We got Adrian 1238. Giveaway accounts again. Giveaway account. Oh, I got rugged. That's why. All right, we're gonna come up with a different way also for Tuesday, just so we mix it up a little bit. Sims. Here you go. Why is everybody saying this other person was first?
I think it's because chat sees slightly different delayed to what we see.
Yeah. I can prove you guys that Dylan was not first.
But Ev's actually got a copy of what we can see on the end to prove that it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I can prove to you guys that that we have the right first person. Don't worry, y'all. We have actual better data than y'all. All right, let's get spinning. Well, it's red guy galore on this floor. There's another red guy for Adrian. Congratulations, you win a red guy. I think out of the 30 last spins, been 28 red guys. So anyways, we can show y'all that next week. You know what? Seems we'll come up with something cool for. It's not going to be Tuesday because I'm not going to be on the show. But we're probably going to do it like on Monday or Wednesday and then Friday for that. So, all right, y'all. Well, Tyler, enjoy Bitcoin Nashville. Can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear your feedback on this. Mando, enjoy your weekend. Sims. With that, we'll see you on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.